Taiwan's M1A2T Abrams tanks adapt to drone warfare with irregular camouflage netting to disrupt aerial detection. Taiwan's new M1A2T Abrams tanks have entered tactical deployment with camouflage netting designed to disrupt aerial detection, reflecting a rapid adaptation to the growing threat posed by drones and persistent battlefield surveillance. During the fourth day of the ROC Armed Forces Immediate Combat Readiness exercise, reported by CNA on June 25, 2026, the deployment in Taoyuan demonstrated how concealment is becoming as critical to armored survivability as firepower and mobility. Rather than serving as physical protection, the irregular camouflage netting breaks up the tank's recognizable shape, shadows, and visual signature, making identification by drone operators and AI-assisted reconnaissance more difficult. The exercise also combined concealed armored positions with engineering obstacles to rehearse layered defenses around northern Taiwan, highlighting a broader shift toward integrating heavy armor into a battlefield dominated by continuous aerial observation and precision targeting. Taiwan's M1A2T Abrams tanks were reported deployed to tactical positions in the Taoyuan area of Taoyuan during the fourth day of the ROC Armed Forces Immediate Combat Readiness exercise. According to CNA reporting and photographic material shared by the new 27 Brigade account on X, crews from the 584th Armored Brigade set up camouflage netting to prevent enemy reconnaissance, turning a tactical deployment into a visible example of how Taiwan is adapting armor operations to the drone age. Ezoic. The deployment took place in a broader defensive scenario focused on northern Taiwan, where the armed forces practiced rapid readiness measures before a potential enemy force could move from coastal areas toward key inland infrastructure. CNA reported that the 53rd Engineer Group erected road-blocking obstacles on Provincial Highway 15, including wave-damping blocks, steel hedgehogs, and HESCO barriers, while nearby M1A2T tanks moved into tactical positions on County Road 110. This combination of engineering obstacles and concealed armored positions reflects a layered approach. Delay an advancing force on key roads, then keep mobile strike assets ready under cover. The most notable element is the camouflage netting itself. It is not a cage, not improvised slat armor, and not an anti-drone metal enclosure of the type seen on some armored vehicles in Ukraine. Its function appears different. It is designed to alter what a drone, aircraft, or overhead imaging system sees. By placing a net over and around the tank, crews create a false visual outline that breaks up the vehicle's recognizable geometry, especially the turret, gun mantlet, turret ring, hull edges, and rectangular roof profile. The visible arrangement strongly suggests that the net was deliberately installed in an irregular manner rather than simply stretched as a sunshade. The front edge is uneven. The overhangs appear different from one side to the other, and the supporting poles do not create a regular rectangular canopy. This asymmetry matters because tanks are often identified from above by repeated geometric cues: a central turret, long gun tube, parallel hull edges, circular turret features, and consistent shadow patterns. A non-uniform net makes these cues harder to read. Ezoic. The variable height of the canopy also adds tactical value. Instead of forming a flat roof, the net appears to create several height levels, with raised sections, lower edges, and sagging between support points. From an elevated angle, this can distort the vehicle's footprint and generate shadows that shift with the sun and the observer's position. For a drone operator, the tank no longer presents a clean silhouette. For automated or AI-assisted recognition, the altered shape may reduce confidence by turning a known armored vehicle profile into a fragmented, irregular object. The netting's cut pattern further contributes to optical disruption. A laser cut or leaf-like camouflage pattern with multiple openings avoids the appearance of a solid artificial sheet, while allowing partial visibility and shadow mixing with the surrounding background. This type of camouflage does not make a tank invisible, but it can slow recognition, complicate targeting, and make it harder to distinguish the tank from terrain clutter, vegetation, roadside structures, or other battlefield objects. In a modern reconnaissance environment, even a short delay in identification can affect targeting cycles. For Taiwan, The use of camouflage netting on new M1A2T tanks is significant because it shows that the platform is being integrated not only as a firepower and mobility asset, but also as a survivability challenge in an environment saturated by aerial observation. The Abrams remains a large vehicle with a strong thermal, visual, and acoustic signature, and the battlefield lessons from Ukraine have shown that heavy armor must operate under constant threat from drones, loitering munitions, and artillery linked to real-time surveillance. Field camouflage becomes part of the combat system, not an accessory. The Taoyuan deployment also suggests that Taiwan is rehearsing how its armored forces would operate near roads, airports, transport hubs, and potential landing or airborne insertion zones. CNA noted that the exercise linked coastal defense, road obstruction, and inland strike forces around the Taoyuan and northern Taiwan defensive layout. In that setting, concealed M1A2T positions would allow tanks to remain available for counterattack while reducing exposure to reconnaissance before contact. The M1A2T deployment in Taoyuan shows more than the first visible participation of Taiwan's new Abrams tanks in an immediate readiness drill. The camouflage netting placed over the vehicles points to a practical adaptation to a battlefield where being seen from above can be as dangerous as being hit directly. By disrupting shape, shadow, and recognition cues, Taiwan is signaling that its armored forces are being prepared not only to move and fire, but also to survive under persistent aerial surveillance. In the age of drones, concealment has become a frontline capability.